There's a lot of great players, the best players in the world out here, but Jack Sock, just really fun to watch.
Can't disagree with you there, Jim.
It's kind of unfortunate it's the last match of the night. We don't have much of a crowd to see it.
And what a shot there by Jack Sock. Almost didn't even know what to say, but caught Lee leaning towards the middle.
I think Lee was expecting power, and he just got tremendous touch when Sock went inside out on him. Sock can generate tremendous spin on the ball.
I think that's a good point. You know, it's not necessarily just power all the time, right? Just able to finesse it and get all sorts of spin on the ball as well.
Yeah, Jack is just going to drive it at Samuel Lee and just dare him to counter. That's what we're going to see. Just power, power, power.
You see what Sock did there, kind of. I guess I don't even know what you call that. Emphasizing his windup on his forehand there. What do you think, Jim?
I thought it was a deke where he was trying to indicate like he was going to go inside out, and instead went more of a right shoulder shot. Same thing right there. I think he's trying to deke where he's making the opponent guess whether he's dinking, hitting inside out, or driving middle. Side out 0-4-1. I'll tell you one thing about Jack Sock. I had the pleasure of watching him a lot on Tuesday, kind of a warm-up day. That man is having fun playing pickleball.
That's the most important thing, right?
Well, it's so much fun for me. I'm as big a fan of pickleball as there is, and it's just so much fun to watch him. But it's really good to see him out there having a lot of fun. I got a chance to talk to him some length. Good guy.
That's a nice backhand volley right there from Lee.
And that's actually one of the things I see as sort of a early weakness from Jack. He's so big and athletic, so much range. Sometimes he overdoes it, does a little bit too much, a little bit too fancy.
Wow. All right, someone needs to clip that point ASAP. Incredible defense on display there from Shick and Sock. But you've also got to give it to Alhouni for not missing any of those shots.
Yeah.
And just being able to put it away and also not step into the kitchen at the same time.
Two, 4-2.
And Samuel Lee was ready that time, Jim.
That was nice.
You said he would have to be ready, and he was certainly up to the call at that point.
That was a beautiful counter. But you saw, rather than trying to reset, an aggressive counter. I think that's what he's got to do.
In the side out after a nice run from Alhouni and Lee.
Interesting that they stacked to put Jack on the right. They switch back.
And the side out there. We'll see what the number 38 seeds can do here on serve. unlucky off the net there. The net can give it. It can also take it away.
Lee's doing a good job early, hanging in there.
And the lob, not going to work there on Jack Sock.
Yeah. He might be the toughest player there is to lob. There's Alhouni with that length and reach. One step carries him basically halfway across the court.
And Sock gets some love off the net there.
When I got a chance to talk to Jack, it was a lot of fun. He's got a court now in his backyard, devoted full time to pickleball. Really enjoying it, and it's great to have him out here.
One angle there, just from the kitchen, inside out forehand roll. The ref kind of caught in the crossfire there off of Lee's paddle.
6-3-2. Power Jack Sock generates is quite amazing. He's using a paddle that's known more as a control paddle than a power paddle, but he can really put some mustard on that ball.
And maybe to your point there, Jim, maybe Sock trying to do a little too much there.
I'm surprised they're not driving more directly at Samuel Lee. They're driving a lot, but a lot of the drives aimed at Alhouni. That strategy was not successful in the earlier match I watched. I think they want to drive it at Lee. Although again, Samuel Lee's done a good job so far of countering.
That's a nice drop there from Lee. Let's get to high arcing over the net. So much topspin to bring it down.
I think Jack Sock was a little distracted by Alhouni's move to poach. Oh, nice.
And Jack Sock giving him the
I see you.
So not exactly sure what happened there. It looked like Shick missed the
Yeah.
ball on the Ernie.
They called Shick for breaking the plane of the net without touching the ball. So again, on an Ernie, you can break the plane of the net as long as you hit the ball first, but you've got to make contact with it. If you don't make contact with it and any part of your body breaks the plane of the net to the side, it is a fault, and that's what they called on Colin. So his left foot crossed the plane.
Funnily enough, that is the second time I've seen a missed Ernie today. I feel like it doesn't happen that often. Or a miss in terms of not even making contact with the ball. And Alhouni and Lee able to stand tall at the kitchen, withstanding the drives of Sock.
5-6-1.
And we've got a tie game here in game 1, Jim.
Yeah. Six two. I think, Will, we're seeing again the aggressive style of Sock and the benefits it's bringing, a lot of power, a lot of putaways, but we also see the downside of probably a little bit too much aggression and gets tied up sometimes when the point goes a little longer.
And Alhouni trying to take up a lot of court, trying to take that out of the air with the forehand and speed it up, unable to keep it in.
You're not going to get a lot of dinking out of Sock and Shick. They're looking to pretty much speed up at the earliest opportunity.
It's funny you see Alhouni there giving the winger to signify it's out, making sure Jack Sock sees it too.
Probably a little bit of a reaction to what Jack had done earlier.
And the hands there just too good from Sock and Shick.
7-6-2.
And honestly, it's impressive that Alhouni was even able to get a paddle on the ball with how fast that shot from Sock was coming.
Nice backhand there by Colin Shick to tie it up.
And that one, Sock may have saved a shot from Alhouni that was going out. Always so hard to tell in the heat of the moment.
Interesting how Sock and Shick are sometimes stacking, sometimes not. Trying to figure out what they're seeing and reacting to.
And the hands there you see them going after Samuel Lee, getting the better of him in that instance. All square here at 7 in game 1.
Really nice dig there by Jack Sock, but couldn't get the next one.
That drive through the middle causes some confusion there. Gives Sock and Shick the lead.
Wow.
And Jack Sock takeover there, Jim.
Wow. Showing you can play some defense. And then as soon as he gets a ball up to that forehand, he's going to hit it as hard as he can.
And on serve, we'll see if they can close it out here.
10-7-2, their first game point.
And Alhouni finds the middle there, showing it was a good timeout. Came out and converted. And that one just back from Sock, and all of a sudden Alhouni and Lee are within one here.
9-10-1, a couple of chances to tie it.
What a point right there. You got to give credit to Samuel Lee for staying in that backhand dink rally. And we are all tied up here at 10. What a run.
Jack Sock just determined to run around his backhand at every possible opportunity. That's a nice small run there, Will, by Alhouni and Lee to get to even. At least forces Shick and Sock to win two points to win the game, not just one.
Just unrelenting attacks there from Jack Sock. And there's the backhand that you were looking for.
That was a nice flick. I think he should use it a little bit more. I think he's trying to do a little too much with the forehand. Ooh. Don't want to miss a third on game point. Got to force your opponents to do something.
And Alhouni tries the behind the back shot, falling backwards, doesn't get it to go. And that is going to bring us to the end of an entertaining and very close, very competitive game one here. The men's doubles round of 32.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
that out of the way, it looks like we're ready to keep going with game 2. Nice volley there from Alhouni. Anything you want to see from Alhouni and Lee in game 2 that you'd like them to change?
Well, I think they did a good job. I think they anticipated the strategy that they were going to see from Sock and Shick, and I think Samuel Lee especially has hung in there well at the onslaught. I think they want to slow the game down though, and it seems like the longer the point, the better for them. I think Sock has, he wins a lot of points with power. But I think if you can make him play a little bit longer point, you got a better chance.
And there on that point, we saw a huge windup there from Sock on the forehand dink. Ended up speeding it up. And the missed fourth right there from Sock gets Alhouni and Lee on the board here in game 2, 1-1.
Well, I think when it gets down to it, I mean, the thing we sometimes forget about Jack Sock is he is a tennis player convert to pickleball, and so I think you got to play him like you do most tennis player converts. Is you got to force him to play as much pickleball as you can, as much dinking, spins, force him to move around. But obviously with him, you got to counter that power, like right there.
And what a get right there from Jack Sock. Just even taking all the pace off of that smash from Alhouni and getting back a really tough shot.
Shick and Sock didn't play Desert Ridge, but the last tournament they played together before that, I got to watch them, and they would run over some of the early teams, but then they ran into Riley Newman and Thomas Wilson, and after a little bit, I think, of an initial shock by Wilson and Newman seeing the power that Sock had, what Riley and Thomas did was just play pure pickleball, just a lot of dinking and keeping the ball down. And if Sock and Shick wanted to speed it up, they had to speed it up off of a tough shot. I think that's what you have to do. And Wilson and Newman beat them fairly easily. It was a close first game, like 7-7, and then Newman and Wilson ran away with it from that point forward. So I think that's what you got to do is make them play pickleball. Just like that. That's a good block. Force them to get out of the drive, and shake and bake. Wow.
What an ATP there from Samuel Lee.
I got to applaud that one. That was really nice, right in front of us. There's a good view of that one.
And another ATP there from Samuel Lee.
Off the backhand, too. And Shick did the right thing to try to return it. That was definitely going in.
And Alhouni's ATP-ish attempt on his backhand. No good there. But they do tie it up at 3.
Wow.
3 for 3 from Samuel Lee. Oh my goodness, on the almost the exact same spot here. Maybe his new favorite shot.
Not an easy shot because your tendency would be to slice it a little bit and taking it away from the court, but he flattened it.
Even then, that's the overwhelming power of this duo. I mean, 2 overheads cranked by Jack Sock. And then another one just as hard, a little flatter there from Shick. Unable to return that one. And game 2 opening up here, 6-3 lead for Shick and Sock.
Good hops there from Colin Shick.
As Shick about to serve here, up 7-3. And another one-man shake and bake there from Jack Sock.
Yep.
So difficult to stop that.
One interesting thing there, Will, is he hit the put away with the backhand. He has a pretty good backhand. There's a lot of people that say like Jack Sock doesn't have much of a backhand and he runs around his backhand so much, but he actually has a pretty good backhand when I've seen him. Just doesn't use it that much. Look at the touch there off that backhand.
And Jack Sock making sure that Alhouni knows that he has that shot in his bag. A little fake out there up the line. And all of a sudden here it is match point for Colin Shick and Jack Sock.
They're still smiling about that one.
And that is going to do it for this men's doubles match, our final match of the day. Colin Shick and Jack Sock get it done. 12-10, 11-3 against Mohamed Alhouni and Samuel Lee, booking their ticket to the round of 16, where a rematch with Riley Newman and Thomas Wilson awaits.